International Conference on New Technologies and Innovations in Rural Roads on the occasion of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Please keep applauding.
And Panchayati Raj, Sri Giriraj Singh Ji, other dignitaries on the dais, dear participants and exhibitors, participants who have joined online, our knowledge partners and our sponsors.
Honorable Minister, Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, Shri Giriraj Singh Ji, to this international conference on new technologies and innovations in rural roads. It has been entirely his idea and inspiration behind this conference. From the moment he took charge of Ministry of Rural Development, he has been our mentor and guide, and has encouraged us to substantially increase the use of new technology.
But now they have come into mainstream. Like one is use of cement-treated bases and cement-treated sub-bases, which was not being used prior to 2013, 2014. And once it came into IRC code.
Shri Kapil Moreswal Patil Ji, Shri Sanjay Kumar Nirmal, Secretary General IRC and ADG and Acting DG, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, Srimati Leena Johari Ji, Additional Secretary and Financial Advisor, BORD, Dr. Ashish Kumar Goel, Additional Secretary, Department of Rural Development and DG NIRDA.
Thank you, sir. I would like to invite Shri Nagendra Sinha, Secretary, Minister of Rural Development, Government of India, who has been an inspiration behind this conference, to deliver his keynote address.
For holding this conference comes from none less than the Honorable Prime Minister. I would like to take this opportunity to mention another aspect. One.
Now I invite Honorable Minister of State, Road Development, Consumer Affairs and Food and Public Distribution, Sadhvi Niranjan Joshi ji, to kindly address the audience.
आज जब हम आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव मना रहे हैं, आज़ादी के 75वें वर्ष में प्रवेश कर चुके हैं, उस समय मैं आज कह सकती हूँ यदि गांव सड़कों से जुड़े हैं, उसमें प्रधानमंत्री सड़क योजना की बहुत बड़ी भूमिका है, जिसके कारण आज गांव सड़कों से जुड़े हैं।
अगर रोड अच्छा है तो जरूर पूछना चाहिए कि रोड कहाँ जा रहा है, लेकिन अगर ध्येय अच्छा है तो रोड कैसा है और कहाँ जा रहा है ये पूछने की जरूरत नहीं है। लेकिन यहाँ हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में, हमारे गिरिराज सिंह जी के मार्गदर्शन में, हमारे ग्रामीण विकास मंत्रालय के माध्यम से, प्रधानमंत्री ग्राम सड़क योजना के माध्यम से हमारे रोड भी अच्छे हैं और हमारा ध्येय भी अच्छा है।
ग्रामीण सड़क संपर्कता और ग्रामीण विकास, और इसको लेकर के जो हमारा अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सम्मेलन, इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस की आज घटन के अवसर पर
For rehabilitation of low volume roads, a document on white topping, panel concrete, a document on surface dressing, a document on PMGSY, India's rural road experience and looking ahead.
witnessing a sea change in the lives of our people during recent times. New horizons of livelihood opportunities have enabled the larger mass residing outside of the urban periphery to join the mainstream socio-economic flow. Opportunities that have been generously provided by the new lifelines of India. An intricate network of modern, all-weather roads constructed under the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. PMGSY, a flagship endeavor of the Ministry of Rural Development of India, is managed and technically supported by the National Rural Infrastructure Development Agency, an organization dedicated to building capacity and enhancing quality through training. The project was launched in the year 2000 by the Government of India to work jointly with the state governments in providing all-weather road connectivity to designated areas with population sizes of 500 plus in the plain areas and 250 plus in the northeastern and Himalayan regions. The initiative is a giant step towards realizing India's full human resource potential along a journey on these new lifelines connecting the remotest parts of the country to civil amenities like schools, hospitals and agricultural markets.
इस रोड के निर्माण होने से हमारे विद्यालय में एडमिशन में बहुत ही फर्क पड़ा है।
जब से रोड बन गई है, हम लोग स्कूल टाइम पर पहुंचते हैं।
Since the launch of PMGSY1 in 2000 till PMGSY3 launched in 2019, rural infrastructure in India has been upgraded to unprecedented levels. Economic activities have increased considerably with the generation of employments in various forms, investments coming in and businesses growing in the rural sector, fueling the economy to reach new heights.
इस रोड के बनने से आज सभी यहाँ उचित विक्रेता अपने ट्रैक्टर से सामान ले जा करके अपने घरों तक आसानी से पहुँचते हैं।
In 2016, a special drive was undertaken for construction and upgradation of strategically important roads in the remotest locations inhabited primarily by India's indigenous people. More than 10,000 kilometers of road length has been sanctioned under this drive so far. Till the 31st of March 2022, a total length of around 7 lakh kilometers of all-weather road has been constructed, achieving the full target of the whole project. The total expenditure incurred is rupees 2.77 lakh crores. This phenomenal empowerment of rural India has attracted the attention of the world. The World Bank in its report on the impact evaluation of PMGSY states that the project has improved accessibility in hilly areas and increased access to economic opportunities.
जब से ये रोड बना है टूरिस्ट डायरेक्ट अपनी गाड़ी लेके नहीं जाता है जब टूरिस्ट आता है तो हमारा बिजनेस जो है काफ़ी जोर दे सकता है।
The benefits of the resultant positive impact on human capital formation are being equally enjoyed by all sections of the population. The NITI Aayog has stated in one of its reports in 2020 that the scheme is well aligned with India's international objectives and is contributing immensely towards the nation's sustainable development goals. The selection of target areas for building and restoring roads has been done using the most scientific method by mapping the strategic points on the Geographic Information System or GIS. This mapping has ensured that the most eligible roads are included in the program to provide a boost to India's rural economy. The routine maintenance of PMGSY roads across the country has become more streamlined since 2020 after the introduction of EMARC. It is a GIS-based enterprise and an e-governance solution to aid and assist the officials and contractors in maintaining performance-based maintenance contracts (PBMC) of roads, assessing performances and making automated payments. Earlier, these records were kept manually and were often subjected to errors. EMARC has enabled evidence-based, error-free digital record keeping. The last couple of years have seen an expenditure of rupees 1,300 crores in road maintenance under EMARC. A user-friendly app, Meri Sadak, is helping citizens provide their feedback directly to the ministry. So far, about 1.5 lakh complaints have been lodged through the app, almost 99% of which have already been resolved. So far, around 70,000.
मैं समझता हूँ कि 2 घंटे में स्टेज की बात सुनते सुनते आपके अंदर कुछ शिथिलता आ गई है, लेकिन आपने अभी एक फिल्म देखने के बाद थोड़ी सी जागरूकता आई है। लेकिन अब कुछ ही क्षण है जिसके बाद इनोवेशन पर, न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी पर चर्चा भी होगी और प्रेजेंटेशन भी देखेंगे, फिजिकल और टेक्निकल।
I also request Team NIRDA to please welcome Professor A. Veera Raghavan, rapporteur for this session. We also welcome all our esteemed speakers. First, Professor Sudhakar Reddy, and then Professor V. Krishna. Now I hand over the dais to the session chair. Before that, I will introduce the speakers and the session chair. The session chair for this session is Professor P.K. Sikdar, who is well known in the field of highway engineering.
To speak at the inaugural session of the International Conference on New Technologies and Innovation in the World. We congratulate and deeply appreciate the effort by the Ministry of Rural Development and NIRDA towards making PMGSY a continued success. We deeply value our long-standing relations and partnership with you. I have been personally involved with the PMGSY since its inception in December 2000, when I was the Central Sector Manager for Southeast Regional Development. I've seen the remarkable progress the program has made over the last year.
That in such a waste-intensive condition, it was always clear this in mind when we're doing our design. Okay, DGP testing and how many tests are carried out quickly with many.
I take the liberty of making my talk part philosophical, part technical. I'll not be actually talking about any specific technology, but I've taken 3 technologies as an example.
Overall, this slide I will just show that out of total roads existing in the country, 71% are rural roads, and their importance cannot be minimized by emphasis mainly on national highways or state highways. So while we have a lot of emphasis both in terms of new technology and investment for national highways, but for all times to come, state PWD departments and state governments cannot wish away the existence of rural roads. So the practices of construction and maintenance of rural roads are. I request all our speakers to please come to our launch where some online participants have already logged in for 10 minutes for any questions, and participants can proceed to Scientist in CSIR, CRRI. He obtained heavy highway engineering from Bangalore University. He has about 35 years of experience in R&D activities in various topics related to highway engineering, such as soil stabilization, industrial waste and marginal materials and roadworks, ground improvement, landslide studies, quality audit of highway works. He has been associated with us for a long time, helping us in preparation of various documents.
Government of India gave me this invitation to attend international conference on new technologies and innovations in rural roads. I wish I had their presence, but I know this is difficult.
Allowed me to present my paper on cement filter basis and development of cost-effective roads. I also thank
Really issues. They are also we go into the stabilization mechanism that also works very well, and other places where water level is also high and there is chances of capillary rise of water and affecting the unbound layers. There are also more stabilization that can restrict the moisture-related distresses to a large extent. This is one of the advantages you see.
my presentation is entitled Food Depth Reclamation using Portland Cement, FDR using Portland Cement. Fundamentals, the types of pavements, flexible and of this reclaimer are there. Some are there in the stalls also, you can meet them. The output 500 cubic meters per day, single lane 0.3 meter thick FDR layer. This is and quality control, what we should do, existing, doing just like other previous roads, we are before construction and after construction. The quality control was that I have already. So before construction,
experience on that. One very valid point made by Dr. Anand that stabilization additive is not one-stop solution. With this I mean to say that each additive or you can say any additive does not work with all types of soils. So implementing agencies and people need to be very, very careful. At CRRI we have evaluated almost 8 different types of additives. If additive A is giving good strength, then additive B is failing in the same type of soil. So one needs to be very careful while designing. As Guru sir has already mentioned, gradation is very important. We need to look in durability test. This happens.
Innovating for sustainability. Right from the inception of Zydex in 1997, sustainability has been the focus and driving force for all our innovations. We have developed cost-effective technologies and products that can serve the use of limiting natural resources and extend their life cycle. Having received multiple awards for innovation and research, Zydex offers innovative solutions for water-resistant roads, beautiful and durable homes, eco-friendly textiles, and sustainable agriculture. Zydex is headquartered in Gujarat, India. Our American counterpart, Zydex Incorporated, is headquartered in North Carolina.
Fat controller, where 15 and fat controller could also work is what we think, but that I think you have to discuss it out. Vibratory roller compaction and a final finish. Traffic is ready. Very, very important observation that I have on FDR, apart from the technical part, is the community buy-in, and that's a very, very conventional work over WBM. Prime coding is an issue because it takes 10 to 12 hours. Single lane roads, traffic cannot be stopped. What do? Here is a technology which can be added. It's again a silicon-based priming material. Added to emulsion, it reduces the time of the curing of the prime coat from 12 hours to 1 hour. That means the next step can happen right away.
here what we've done is, we're doing some work in the northeast. We know that helps in terms of better bonding of the emulsion and giving us strength, and also hooking the bottom part of the stabilized layer. So it plays a role. It also reduces the moisture.
The construction of rural roads. This material has almost been tried and tested. My only suggestion for a gathering like this is that you should always bring out the life cycle analysis that would impress upon people more about the use of this technology. So thank you very much, and I must appreciate that you were able to put forth your points in a very short span of time, and I think I'm eating into other people's time. So without much ado, I would now request Mr. Sarale for his...
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to start with some perspective. For centuries, roads were built which worked very well, until one day the engineers came. So, after the development of technology and knowledge in the 20th century, India, like all countries, has been urbanizing and developing their infrastructure incredibly, and therefore have been opening the country for trade and development. However, most of the country itself, namely the rural areas, were left alone. Therefore, your Minister V5G, in the beginning of the 20th century, started the program BMGSY. During that program, and since then, many roads have been developed. The results have been that between 2000 and 2022, 184,000
UCS value is up to 5 MPa, and this has reduced, on an average, the construction cost to about 20% and the construction time to about 70%. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and it's very encouraging to see that a state like Nagaland has been able to experiment, take the initiative, and the statistics on usability and cost economics is certainly very encouraging. With this, now I would like to invite Sri Sanjay Bajaj from Bridgen, India, who are probably a large consortium for supplying big machinery for construction of roads. So over to you, Mr. Bajaj.
Thank you. Good evening all. Respected Alkaman, Ashish Goel, members of the dais, colleagues in the industry, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on behalf of the Indian Group. In the next 8 minutes, I will try to explain what we are doing for contribution to Indian highways. We are the leaders for the last 25 years in India. Strong branch between 4-year time. And ensuring that we use 100% existing payment, and it's definitely cost effective one. Otherwise, in terms not in money but also in natural resources and in green technologies.
By using stable road additive, let me say a word about our additive. It's a German product and 100% natural mineral additive. So this is our corporate profile, and
all honorable dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, it's very good evening and welcome. We are actually the technology partner for a very reputed company in Japan, Sakai Heavy Industries Limited, who are now 105 years old in this world and the universe. And they are also known as the masters of construction. They have given me the responsibility of making the presentation on their behalf because there are some travel restrictions in Japan and they could not travel to India unfortunately. So with your kind permission, let me start my presentation and it's a very good presentation. The new technology, the new material, full depth declaration, soil stabilization, lot have been discussed in this forum, so I am not going to that. I will be taking up in a very different subject, which is actually compaction and rolling, where Sakai have their expertise and their masters in it. So, most welcome to all of you to the rural highways of India. This is the road maintenance recycling reclamation products. It is a mitigation on the soil stabilizer, similar like it can have, Mark have, Caterpillar have, and all these other companies have. And our division is their compaction equipment where they have specialization. So 35% market share this company is holding in Asian market, and worldwide they have 4 manufacturing plants in Japan, China, Indonesia and US. In my presentation, there are 2 videos are from Japan and Indonesia. The right hand side video is from India. This basin has worked in Sitapur-Lucknow highway. It has completed about 70 kilometers of metro in 2019 to 2021. Now coming to a brief and over right hand side what is happening during the process. I'll just give it. So when you buy Sakai, what you get?
So I'm also very anxious or rather very keen to listen to what you have to say.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman. Yes, we've been hearing so far excellent presentation about stabilization and compaction, how to do that. My topic is slightly different, so I'm talking very much for that your problem don't end after that unless you don't unless you are starting to take care of maintenance also. Maintenance is also very critical after all these expensive investments. So don't forget that. So just one slide about road scanners. We are 24-year-old company focused on payment management, asset management, and traffic infrastructure, working on roads, airports, bridges, streets, and construction technology. A lot of research on that. And we are working on about more than 60 countries in all continents. Have been here in India also with a few projects more than 10 years. But what I would really like to start in the beginning is tell about our one special issue which combines today, because road scanners has been running 24 years. EU
combining visual data from different sources and creating multi-data analysis and comparative multi-year infrastructure surveys. Of course, all this includes GPS coordinates. Road Doctor, a tool for surface and subsurface data analysis. That is intelligent and proactive infrastructure asset management.
So, I'm running my time.
Stress mapping, and we have a complete solution, I guess an IT solution or a mechanical solution. Over to you.
Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I think the last speaker, you will be looking forward to my leaving this place. But I am very optimistic. I'm not a pessimistic. I always think if I am the last speaker, I can cheat on 2 minutes for sure. And I know you will be very patient with me. Thank you so very much. So that's the precursor of my presentation. I am an earthquake scientist. I'm not a pavement engineer, but my love is pavements. My first love is pavements. You know, there's something very interesting which comes to my mind. There was an earthquake in Japan and subsequently in Gujarat also, where we saw the buildings sinking into the earth because of liquefaction. You would be saying, why am I saying so? For a simple reason, we earthquake scientists, you know, we do
the last word as far as this session is concerned, and everybody was very intently listening to the kind of scan of roads is concerned. At this point in time, I'd just like to mention that we are in the NH going through a very interesting phase of road asset monetization. And we have an InvIT, we have a transfer operate and toll model, toll operate and transfer model, and various other things, toll securitization, etc. is happening. Why I mentioned this was that not only is it an interesting concept as far as asset monetization is happening in the country, and I'm happy to share that NHAI is contributing in a big way as far as the national pipeline is concerned. The important thing that is happening in the sector is that we are also seeing a lot of FDI, a lot of foreign investment and a lot of foreign investment interest in the country as far as maintenance and tolling of the roads are concerned. And that is bringing in a lot of new, good technology. So while I was hearing to the presentation made by Mr. Chadha, I was reminisced that this is an area that needs a lot of knowledge sharing because of the active participation of a lot of companies based out of country, and we hope to get in very good technology. In fact, very recently I had organized a presentation by one of the big TOT operators in the country, and they came up with a system. They explained to us how they are maintaining the roads, how they are monitoring the roads, and the kind of IT-enabled systems they have put in. So I'm sure what Mr. Neeraj Chadha is doing can be upscaled very well as far as rural roads are concerned. It will be of immense, I think, benefit to the rural roads if we encourage such technology. Because now our roads, after having been upgraded, they do have a reasonable crust. Earlier PMGSY roads had a very, I would say, very low crust or a very thin crust, but now we are making upgraded roads, so I'm sure this kind of technology would be very useful. I really do not know whether we have the time and people have the intent to ask any further questions. However, I would still take the bullet and request people if they do have any questions at this hour of the day. So I'll just stop for a minute. Any hand that goes up can be the first to go. So I think nobody has the energy or the intent to ask questions, and I'm sure there's a lot of peer pressure on anyone who's wanting to make a question or ask a question. So I think Dr. Pateria would have shared the email IDs and details of the esteemed colleagues on the dais who have made their presentation over here. For any further collaboration, any further assistance, I'm sure they would be more than willing to help you all out. So with this, I really thank Ashish and Dr. Pateria and of course the other directors of NIRDA, Mr. Pradhan, Mr. Pradeep Agarwal. I really thank all of you for making this excellent conclave, a 3-day conclave for knowledge sharing, and I'm sure rural roads are going to benefit in a big way through this. So thank you all very much.